So while we are transitioning over here into discussing the topic of spoofing, I just wanted to give a little bit of a background here about how we have applied machine learning to the identification of spoofing patterns in the past within TT Score to set some context before we move into the cross-product spoofing topic. And some of you may be familiar with Score already, but others who have joined today may not be. So I just really wanted to kind of quickly touch on how we historically have handled the identification of spoofing patterns. And basically, the way that we've done that over the course of the last 7 years or so is that in the early stages of TT Score, customers that were under investigation by regulators such as the CFTC and other regulatory agencies and exchanges, and those customers shared the data from those investigations with us. So we were then able to take that data and use it to train a machine learning model to recognize the optimal set of mathematical vectors. We call them the features of spoofing patterns. So now we have this machine learning model that can recognize various different patterns of potential spoofing. So things like layering, flipping the market, spread squeezes, or even just traditional spoofing, all these different slang terms that are thrown around in the industry, but ultimately bucketed under that broader term of spoofing. We now have a machine learning model that can identify those patterns without our users having to calibrate the parameters themselves, because all of their data is being measured in mathematical similarity to the regulatory case data that we have trained that machine learning model with. So we're going to be able to provide people with this unparalleled detection capability for these different patterns of spoofing across different products that have different liquidity profiles, even during a single trading day. But not only do we detect the activity, we also then classify or score the activity. And we're scoring on a scale from 0 to 100, with a 100 score meaning that the activity has such a high degree of mathematical similarity to the regulatory case data that we've trained the model with, that now you as a TT Score user need to investigate that activity yourself and draw the ultimate conclusion of whether or not spoofing did in fact occur. And we tell our users we want them focusing on the alerts that are being generated that are scoring 75 and above on a day-to-day basis. So we're creating a workflow priority for our users through the scoring mechanism. Okay, we call it a risk score.